All right. Hey, we're back with the regular show like we never left. Welcome back to everybody who's hanging out. I'm Jason Tudor. That's Keith Pinnell. We are doing show number 51, which we don't actually have a title for. I guess we'll just call it the show after our really good Super Bowl show. At least if the feedback's any indicator. That's nice of John and others to say. So we appreciate it. I am not staying up for the Super Bowl since this is a separate podcast. So just so people are aware, Keith ain't either, and so we are. We have a few things to talk about for the new show. But how we doing? I thought that was a good show. I really
I'm
enjoyed
good.
it.
Yeah, I'm getting a sense. I'm getting a sense of deja vu here. Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we have the audio is going to be
it
separate, so we
was.
kind of have to say some things the same way again, right?
Yeah, right. So I'm looking forward to the game. I really am.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot more to talk about other than sports and other than football,
We do.
which are kind of the same thing, I guess, in this hour. So I'm looking forward to that as well and finishing our bracket.
Yeah, and no crazy Congress people to say weird things as we attempt to turn our spiel on. All right, so as always, we start. By the way, if you like the Super Bowl show, let's see. If you like the Super Bowl show, don't forget to leave us a like or something on the Facebook page. But what really helps us if you go over to the iTunes when that podcast pops up and give us a review and some stars. That does really help. Let's talk COVID. I'm getting really fucking sick of COVID. This
Wow.
weekend
Yeah, I know.
was this weekend was starting to really wear on my tolerance. This was, I mean, I had a bit of a moment back in December, but this is the weekend. This is the one where I was like, this we need to fucking kill this virus because it's fatiguing my whole family now. This is getting old.
Well, I saw that you got out today, as did I.
We
Not
did,
nearly as far as you did, but
right?
you got out today.
But it's the same sorts of sensory things that you can do every weekend, right? It's the same, let's go to Globus, let's go to BX. Let's, we've diversified, believe me. We've done some things to make sure that we're constantly changing it up. But there is nothing like the luxury of eating in a restaurant. And okay, we want to hit this from a positive point of view. Yeah, you appreciate those things more, got it. You appreciate dining in a restaurant or just going to a store to buy clothes or whatever it might be. But okay, I'm past all that appreciation. At this point, I have what's that line from Pulp Fiction? I'm just saying I'm a race car. When you rev a race car into red, it's gonna blow. Oh, you're gonna blow. I'm kind of there. I don't know where you are.
It is. It is. No, it is
We're
very
coming up on a
frustrating. Like
year,
you,
man.
I didn't. Yeah, I got.
Go ahead.
I lost your audio.
I know. Are you
No,
there?
I lost your audio. You're. Oh yeah, I'm here. Okay.
I stopped talking.
So I. Then what am? Oh, I guess I'm seeing the video. I apologize to
Watch
everybody.
watch the
So
Skype
I got
feed.
out, but I just walked. I walked around my. I have forest right outside my door,
Right.
so I walked around and did some photography with the iWatch to iPhone to iKeith
Saw that.
connection, and yeah, some of it looks really hokey. My daughter even FaceTimed me specifically to say which one of these is going to be the cover art for your next '70s album. But no, you're absolutely right, and you become stir crazy, and add to that the fact that we've had 3 dry days
Yeah.
in like the last 2.5 months. So
Yeah.
there's been
Yeah.
precipitation
The
in
weather
some
has not
form or
helped.
another.
The weather has
It's
not helped.
no, it drives me crazy. And then I'm seeing the little announcements on the phone saying, "Hey, members, the Ramstein Golf Club is taking signups for the Memorial Tournament." And I'm going, "Fuck me! There's snow on the ground right
Yeah.
now. You've had to close the golf course because of snow." So
When we went to the butcher in Weilerbach that has the butcher vending machines and bought our heart-shaped steak, we passed by the golf course and there were people out there. And I looked at the thermometer in my
yeah,
car and I looked at them and I said, "Nope, still 15 degrees, too cold for drag my ass." out to the golf course to be. I don't love golf that much. I like golf
No.
a lot, and I like to play and I like to be competitive at it. But I would not be golfing in the British Open. Let's put it that way. So I appreciate folks who have that passion. I really do. I think it's great that they're out there and they're doing what they love. But that is not a recreational thing for me to do in 44-degree Fahrenheit weather at all. So, we've just been trying
No.
to vary things a little. Today was very sloth. I knew that I was getting ready for podcast, so I did everything. I got everything ready for the show. I got all the photos and things. Kind of built my own agenda, checked everything out. So that was basically today was basically an in the house day. The only thing that was different was I went to base to get a sandwich. Came back, and then Annabelle really wanted to get out of the house, so we went on a bit of a photography taking trip out towards Zweibrücken, which is southwest of us. It's right on near the French border, but we didn't go there. It was just sort of we'll drive in that direction and see if there's any cool photos, and there were tons, which is great. And then we sort of turned back and came. So that was it. I mean, So where are we? Let's see, folks. We are still the numbers are going down. That's the good news. So the R number.
That's the good news.
The R numbers are going down. So at one point, one of our counties, the one I used to work in for my temporary gig, was above 200. That is off the charts. It is now below, I think, 160 or 140. So that number is going down. The county that Keith and I live in is also going down, and I think it's actually now below 100. Other counties are also falling. So these are good news things. I think this has to do a lot with the measures that are in place. I think people are maybe they're calming down because there's a vaccine that's slowly making its way around. I'm still waiting for my second shot. Have not gotten a call for my second shot yet. Actually, I got a message in my phone but I think it's on a different matter. So I think it's part of that. I think it's just maybe people are feeling fatigue, and some of the measures that are in place now, they just are like, well, I can't do any of that. So I'm tired of going to Globus. So they're not. And then maybe it's the mask rules, and maybe more people are like, look, wear the fucking mask so we can all get out of this. So it's a lot of different things. Keith alluded to it. Part of it, too, is the weather is shit. There's just no reason to get out of the house. So maybe that's keeping people more homebound. But, again, from our perspective here in Germany, the R numbers are going down. The potential, the numbers of people are lessening. The cases are lessening in my own neighborhood. Facebook Mayor Dean Hull of Brook-Muhlbach posted that there were 0 cases over the last day or two. So that's great news. Those are the kinds of things we really need to see in order for this to work. So anyway, that's kind of where I feel we are with the COVID thing. I don't know that they're meeting again on what, the 10th? No, we're already
Wednesday.
Yeah, the 10th.
Wednesday.
To decide what's coming. I think the schools are going to go back to school around the 17th. That's what it's rumblings I'm hearing on the interwebs and elsewhere. They will Dodds will go back to school, and they have had success previously with this. They're very good, have been very good about hygiene and things like that. Not at all like when it first started. So there are some things that are happening, I think, we're starting to get back to normal. As I've told you before on this podcast, I fucking hate when people call it the new normal. I don't hate them, of course not, but I dislike intensely when people refer to this as the new normal. It's not the new normal. This is different. This is not where we should be. Don't call it a new normal, or you normalize it, and your expectation is it's going to be like this. When you don't call something normal, in your mind it stays a chaos, it stays a crisis that you have to help solve. When you refer to it as a normal or a new normal, you're just like, oh, this is just the way it is. I'm getting fucked by the virus. Or you could think, nope, I'm just going to continue to do everything I can and have as much endurance as you can to press on and keep moving. So this is not a new normal. This is still different, but I think we're moving. I think we've taken some big steps to get back to normal, including, of course, the vaccine. So I don't know how you feel about that.
No, right. I'm still waiting for my second shot as well, and a lot of people are. And it's good to see that vaccines are happening in the states.
Right.
Numbers are still incredibly off the charts in the states.
Nuts. They're nuts.
It makes me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It sucks. Hopefully next year, by this time next year, or maybe by. I'm afraid the numbers are going to go back over the summer if things are relaxed. But so maybe this time next year,
Daniel
We'll
Nathaniel
be able to travel.
Daniel Nathaniel says, "I doubt that movie theaters will ever be the same." Agree with that. I really think, again, there were a lot of movies that got kicked again to 20, like further down 2021 or
Yep.
even into 2022. The Bond film, I think the Dune thing got kicked. There's a number of sort of big.
Top Gun.
Top Gun got kicked again, um, and that sucks. I, you know, movies are going to come back, and somebody said it perfectly, and I want to make sure I get it right. Somebody said the joy of watching a movie is going to the film with like-minded people, like you and I sort of think a lot in a lot of ways, and going to see Top Gun. And when that moment happens, all cheering together or all growling together, or that's the joy of movies. But that said, we've had a year without movie theaters, right, or something like that. We've had not in the States. I saw some friends at the movie theaters like 6 days ago, but they've had a year of not releasing films and seeing how streaming has, people have had to sit at home and stream. I think movie theaters are going to have to figure out some kind of new model because people are eventually going to say, why can't this just stream at home? We already got Wonder Woman 84, which wasn't great, but at least they did it. And then there was another movie that Dee Dee watched. We talked about it last week. I don't remember the name of it, which again wasn't great, but they did it. It was new release. To me, this is the inevitable place where this is going, is that you are going to have a big screen in your house. You're going to pay a certain amount of money for a first release, even if it was pay-per-view, and you were going to watch a first-run film in your house. I think the challenge, I'm going along on Daniel's I doubt point, but the challenge is that movie theaters don't want anything to get in between the profit and them. That's why movie theaters are such a good deal for them. Movie theaters only make money on concessions. They make zero money on showing
Right.
on ticket price. All that money goes directly to studios. So theaters have always been sort of that's why you're charged $17 for a thimbleful of nacho cheese and two chips. So right. So again, I think when they're out of this, maybe movies will rebound as they always have. But Dee Dee even brought up a good point, and I realize I'm rambling, but Dee Dee brought up a good point too, which is I wonder if Hollywood's ever going to recover in terms of being Hollywood, because no red carpet galas. It's always been these virtual galas, and sort of will people sort of go back to, you know. Oh, so and so on the red carpet wearing a Chanel dress and blah 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 blah. Is anybody going to give a shit about that anymore? Because we haven't given a shit about it for a year. We also have, again, I've talked about this before. We also sort of just ignored the fact that there haven't been fans and stands at stadiums, and that sports have just gone on just fine and continue to make money. Again,
Yep.
I think when we do hit normal again, there's going to be change in how we view things and how we pay for things and how we consume things. So that'll be an interesting sort of piece to get back to when that happens. All right, I've talked enough. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think there's a lot of different businesses, not just theaters, that will have to change their models and have to cater. And even the little things like no more cash. You go to get a beer at a ball game, and you're going to have to, until we're absolutely positively sure that the virus is gone. But then again, you can catch the flu on the armrest of a chair from the guy sitting next to you.
Yeah.
But until you can make sure things are safe, you're going to have to keep fans away. You're going to have to. Will theaters change to more avant, av- what's the word I'm looking for?
Avant-garde.
Uh, avant-garde things where, okay, the night out is, hey, let's go to the theater instead of stream Top Gun. Let's do something wild and go watch Top Gun, at this small theater or whatever. Is it going to be like that? Are restaurants going to be? I think restaurants are going to be restaurants regardless.
No, I
You
don't.
can
I
look
don't
at the
and that's
states. My
interesting you say that
daughter,
because I don't think the restaurant experience is going to change much, other than let's hope we start paying
right?
servers and other people a better wage.
My daughter thanks you for that.
For sure, there's no question they should be paid a better wage. So yeah, I'm with you. There's going to be things that change. PJ says theaters will go back to being owned by the studios. I don't know why they're not now. I think sort of saying, oh no, they're independent, blah 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 blah, so they don't have a monopoly. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. Nobody cares. We get it. I just think that people have a greater expectation of interactivity and experience and things like that when it comes to film, and the studios are going to have to meet that head on. Okay, Dune is ready. Great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the next James
Put it
Bond
out.
film. I'm sort of looking forward to the next Top Gun film. But knowing that they're now 3 years old, all right, but what else? Why am I gonna go back out to the theater when I know for a fact you've given me Wonder Woman on my 80 or my 72-inch big screen here? Why can't I have James Bond here in my home? That makes more sense and it's safer. I don't think people are going to give a shit about the safer part. I think we're still going to crowd into theaters and all that. I think people will still wear masks ad hoc. I think it's a lot like Japan in that sense, where they are, I don't want to say
Right?
they're germaphobes, but they definitely wear masks more often than we do. It's part of the culture for if you're sick to wear a mask or whatever it might be. So again, I think the time of pandemic of the stress that we have now, there is going to be a period of stress coming out of pandemic and readjusting because I think people are going to be like, well, we're going to reach that nexus of enough people getting vaccinated and cocky and saying, well, I don't need a mask, fuck you, I'll walk around and do what I want, and then the nexus of sort of businesses returning and I think there'll be another small spike, and then perhaps
Mm-hmm.
after that. But to me, I don't see the normal hitting till at least late summer, if that. Fauci thinks it's got another year and a half or something like that, and he's a smart guy. But to me, just doing the wag, I think it's late summer. But here in Germany, I don't know. But getting back to my top point, which I've blathered on, is this is one of those weeks where I'm feeling a bit of that sort of COVID stress. Me and my family are, and it's noticeable. So not to bring the show down, but and I'm sure and again, I think it's a combination of that and the weather, which you said has just been gray and rainy, and there's been like 1 or 2 sunny days, and again, it's typical here. That's fine, but the combination of these things can lead to some mental health challenges, and I think we all got to take care of ourselves in that regard. You are watching and
Well, that's a very
listening
good
to
point.
the follow up show to the Super Bowl show, which you just did. We hope you'll go listen to that or go watch it. Actually, it's the same video, so Um, in any case, that's Keith. I'm Jason. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say that's a very good point. We hear about that a lot in our work, and I can tell you that with our new employee, we get along very well. We both had a laughing fit Thursday. Uh, just well, I didn't have a laughing fit. I was making her laugh, which made me laugh.
Hmm.
And I mean, the whole big snort laugh kind of thing.
Right.
And that lasted 2 minutes, but that brightened the day
Right.
tremendously.
It does.
So so let me put this in. I said this in a new product we started doing Friday. You know, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like Jason's talking about, like I've talked about in the past, I sit on my ass at work for the most part. I come home, I sit on my ass in front of the TV. Today I got out and I feel great because I got out, got some fresh air. But if you're feeling down, talk to
Yep.
somebody.
Yep. Yep.
It doesn't have to be a professional. It doesn't have to be a family member. Hey, you're cooped up with
Get
them.
it off your chest.
Call
It makes a
somebody. Call me.
startling
Call PJ.
difference. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, talk to your battle buddy. Talk to your
Hmm.
coworker. Talk to give somebody a call you haven't talked to in a while, or talk to a chaplain. They're certainly not going to tell anybody you're talking to them. So
You said that in the video too. That's funny.
talk to somebody. I did.
You said it almost the exact
So
same way
talk.
too. That's funny.
Well, it worked the first time, so yeah, don't. So just talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody away from your current situation, preferably. And you don't have to spill your beans or anything like that, but it will make you feel better. I guarantee it.
There it is. There's the Men's Warehouse guarantee again from Keith Pinnell, everybody.
That's
All right.
right.
All right. So don't forget, we have the audio show. It's on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. We appreciate those of you who've been downloading. Not a bad month for January, about 700 downloads. So we appreciate that. Thank you. We'd love to see like
Woo.
7,000, but, we don't do a lot of marketing either. So um, what else did you want to talk about?
You know what? I went to the eye doctor uh, Tuesday, and then I went back yesterday. So my vision is actually improved just a smidge. Now, diabetes is taking its toll on my eyes as well as the rest of my body,
Right.
especially my left eye, where there was a number of years ago, 10 years ago or so, a lot of bleeding in the back of my eye because I've never been the poster child for good diabetic control. But it's getting better, getting better, getting better. My left eye is still worse than my right eye, but he said it's a smidge better. Okay, great. So I
Holly
found out
Needhammer.
what my insurance
Hi,
would
Holly.
pay.
Yep.
Hi, Holly. So I went back to yesterday to see what lenses were going to cost me and pay for lenses. So I'm used to paying total for these like progressive lenses with trifocal, bifocal, whatever the hell they are, and with my insurance paying like $95.
Right.
So I got the price tag yesterday with a VAT form, which means I don't pay the German taxes, which is at the moment 10%. It's usually 19%. Uh, it's $1,000, €1,006 for lenses, not frames, because I'm using the same frame. It's €1,000 for the lenses. And I said, what the hell? I mean, I get it, but my insurance pays like $140 for frames and 136 for progressive lenses, trifocals, whatever. So that's a drop in the €1,000 bucket, right?
Yep.
So I said, what the hell? And I think I said exactly that to this guy who's been working there 3 days.
Right.
And he said, well, so he called the optometrist over, and we have a good rapport after him talking about the States last time I was in there and all that. So he said, the only thing I can tell you, Mr. Pennell, is these are top of the line lenses, and the lenses you were getting before because they knew your insurance was paying for it
Right.
were not.
Right. Right.
I, and what do you say to that? You go, okay. He said, I guarantee you these will be better lenses. Even though the prescription is very close, these will be better lenses. I said, okay. So I'm going to have to take that €1,000 hit in the shorts here in a week or so
Yeah.
and be happy about that. But when and that's for two lenses, not, I have two pair of glasses, one for home, one for work. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my bitch of the week, if you
I'm a
will. I
bitch.
have
I'm
some
a
weird news
bitch.
when
Oh,
we
the
get to
bitch
it.
is
Yeah.
back. All right. So ESPN,
So what about you?
just in a sec, reflecting on the show earlier, ESPN is their headline is "How on earth can the Bucks stop the Chiefs?" See, I think it's the opposite, frankly. Here are a few ideas. Plus, my friend Bill Barnwell. Bill Barnwell is a friend. I've known him since he was 15 years old. His pick. Bill Barnwell writes the best football stuff. It's well researched. He digs deep into the stats. If you're not a fan of Bill Barnwell's on ESPN, yeah, go do that. He's brilliant. I didn't realize Calvin Johnson had made the Hall. So he's hopeful on mending
Yeah.
issues with the Lions. The Lions are just a horribly run organization. Sorry, I didn't realize multiple teams have interest in Sam Darnold from the Jets, and then apparently people are calling Matthew Stafford saying, "Yo, I want to come play with the Rams." So now everybody wants to be a Ram because they've got a decent quarterback. So that's interesting. Again, a lot of it this week has been focused on. There just hasn't been a lot going on, right? So I've done a lot creatively this week. It's been really actually pretty quiet. I did a couple of new paintings. I've got another painting that I'm going to show off on my Facebook wall in a couple days. I finished one a few days back that I debuted this week that I really liked. It was more kind of an abstract-y type thing. And this one I just did was sort of I was working with kind of perspective and mood and some other things and a little bit with lighting. I didn't quite get it right, but I still like it a lot. So I'll show that one off in a couple days. So that planning for this show has been a big part of what's up lately. Let's see. I haven't watched a lot of TV. I've been sort of this week is oddly enough. This week has been a week of organization, right? So I know I came at you with that new idea for work that was sort of along those lines. I've been reorganizing a lot of my project stuff and my creative stuff on my hard drives at home. I've been reorganizing a lot of this. So I don't know how many of you do this, but for the longest time, I was very faithful about when we go out and shoot photos at a location that we go to visit if we go on a trip or a vacation, I would come home, download the photos, put them in a folder, organize them, kill the ones that sucked, do the ones that were good. And previously, like way back, we would send them off to Shutterfly to get them printed because we used to like prints. But at the very least, we would share them on Facebook or at least so they were in. I had a pretty organized catalog from I want to say from 2007 to now. About 2018, I got lazy. I started to get real lazy, and so what I would do is I just start shooting with my phone, and at some point I go, well, shit, I got 1,000 photos on here, and I would just clear them all out and then put them into a folder called To Be Sorted. So I'd make a folder called To Be Sorted and then a dash, and then I would put the date in divot style, no less. So it'd be To Be Sorted dash 2021 0217, right? That's just so I would know where the fuck they are, right? Well, it turns out I had like 20 of these folders, and figure there's about 500, an average of 500 photos each. So I started going through and saying, well, I should start taking some of the big things out, right, the big trips, and started giving them their own folders so I can go back and reference them and things like that, because I do like that. And plus, my home media server does catalog photos, and we could say, oh, let's look at that time we went to Slovakia, or let's look at Annabelle when she was 3 or whatever, right? So I thought, okay, it can't be that many. But then on the other side of me went, it's probably a shit ton. So I went back and I put I collected all, because they were kind of all over the place. So I collected all the to be sorted photos, put them in a folder of other folders, because photos are really labor intensive on a hard drive. So they're all sort of in separate folders versus all just being in one folder. Keith, how many images do I have to sort through? And how many gigabytes of those images do I have to sort through? Take a shot.
3,000 photos.
That's cute. I'll give you one more try.
12,000 photos.
12,000 is correct. Very good. You did the right amount of math to get there.
Yes.
Well done. 12,000 photos and 24 gigabytes. So it's not just photos either. It's photos. It's little videos. It's things I've saved off my phone. Right. It all just got dumped. So I've been going through and I've been finding some really old stuff. And I'm like, oh, and then there's some stuff I'm just like, oh, I haven't seen that. So it's been. So anyway, kind of circling back around, it's been a week of organization for sure. And that's kind of what's been happening with me. Not a lot else. I mean, I haven't really watched anything. I haven't taken in any big movies or rewatched anything worth talking about again. So, yeah, that's kind of what's been happening with me.
Still watching WandaVision. I don't want to give anything away. It's a very interesting show.
Yep.
If you're a Marvel Comic Universe fan, and who's not really, come on.
Be surprised.
Let's see. I had the eye appointment, and I saw a couple of times today. I saw on AFN a preview for what's the word I'm looking for? A biography, not a biography, but a movie about The Rock's life.
Okay.
So that'll be on AFN. I don't even know when it's going to be, but it's intriguing because it starts off with him as a child, and his dad was a wrestler, and you can do anything you want to. You just got to put your mind to it. He goes, "Fine, I'll have a tequila on the rocks." Dad said, "No." "Fine, I'll have a gin and tonic." "No." That kind of thing. So I don't know. It looks campy, if you will. But we'll see. I may record it and watch it.
I'm checking CNN just to kind of stir our memories of sort of things that have happening. But former Secretary of State George Shultz is dead at age 100. He was kind of I remember him as a kid. But I think the big news this week, at least interesting to us as public relations people, I think, is Lou Dobbs got his ass fired. So that is interesting to me because
I saw that this morning.
Because of the way that he got fired. So if you don't believe that money talks, and you don't believe the threat of a lawsuit matters, Lou Dobbs is fired. And the next two people to go are probably Judge Jeannie and Maria Bartiromo, which is weird to me because I always thought she was pretty rock solid as a CNBC person, but I've never watched her on Fox. So that being said, Lou Dobbs gets fired because there is a $2.5 or $3 billion lawsuit. I think it's is it slander? Probably slander and libel against a number of people, including them. So I think Fox said, "Hey, we need to cut our losses because there's a lot of evidence saying that this is going to happen and that we're going to get whacked." So Lou Dobbs is gone. A lot of other people are gone, and I thought that was interesting Not interesting. I thought it was worthy because the amount of rhetoric that came out of the previous regime was incredible, and I think he was one of the leading spewers of it. But it is interesting. I think Fox has had some of its worst ratings in a very long time, and of course, I think that's people they're flipping over to the even more radical stations like Newsmax and some of the others to get their, I don't want to say it's their opinions, but to get their goo put into their brain and that sort of thing. So, end of road for Lou Dobbs. I just thought that was one of the fascinating headlines this week. People telling, hey, there'll be other Super Bowls. Oh, yeah, that's what we wanted to say. We forgot to say during the local hour and the COVID thing. Don't have a fucking Super Bowl party. There, that was pretty easy.
Jesus.
First, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to have one other person in your house who is supposed to be a family member. Second,
Locally.
why? I mean,
Yes,
I get
locally.
it. We all crave some sort of social interaction. We all have friends who are Bucks fans and Chiefs fans and, that sort of thing. But why? Don't do it. Please do not have the party. Do something else. Sit home, Zoom each other, whatever. As the headline says here, there will be other Super Bowls. And frankly, this is not one of the better Super Bowls. Both of these teams are in secondary to tertiary markets. This is not New York at Los Angeles. This is not New York at New York. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Kansas City Chiefs. First of all, fuck the Chiefs. But second of all, neither of these teams is, but I got to see Tom Brady play and I got to make fun of don't have a Super Bowl party in the dorm. Don't have a Super Bowl party in the barracks. Don't have a Super Bowl party on base. Don't have because I guarantee you there are people living next door to you who go, they're having a Super Bowl party next door and I'm going to call the police and because they live next door to you and they will fuck your life up. So please, friends, don't have a Super Bowl party.
Will. I guarantee.
Did I get that right, Keith? I think I emphasized it enough.
You did. You may have left some gray area in there. No, it's and that's just it. If you are listening locally or in Germany, you will have your local national neighbor call you and turn your ass.
Oh, for sure. And
I guarantee it.
If you live on base, you're going to have an American neighbor that'll do it too, for sure. PJ says San Antonio is having the cops make rounds to cite parties of more than 10 people. Good. Those are,
good.
I'm not calling them Super Bowl parties. I'm calling them Super Bowl super spreader Super Bowl events or something. That's what they should be called because that's all they're going to do. And if you haven't had, we've had our vaccines, whatever. Again, we're getting into that zone, right, that we talked about a little earlier. Anyway, don't have a Super Bowl party. All right, so it looks
and
like
just because, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. We got a few minutes.
No, I was just going to rehash that. I don't remember now. We're so far along. Did we talk about our vaccines this show or the Super Bowl show? This show, right?
We talked a little bit about vaccines on this show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and I have had our first series of vaccines.
Correct.
And so, but just because you get the vaccine doesn't mean you cannot get COVID.
Right. And it doesn't mean
it just won't be as bad for you.
Fucking mask or stop socially distancing. You have not gone from Krypton to Earth. There's still kryptonite out there that can affect you. Wear your mask, socially distance, wipe your hands, please. Don't.
And you can still spread it if you get it, even after you've had the vaccine.
Remember, it's a
vaccine is made
respiratory disease.
The vaccine is made to keep you from having the worst symptoms. Basically, the vaccine is made to keep you alive if you get COVID-19.
Tis correct.
So even if you get the vaccine, just play it smart, do what you're supposed to do, play by the rules. And especially if you're in the great state of Oklahoma, where that fucking idiot who's the fucking governor doesn't care and spent millions of dollars.
Allegedly. He meant that allegedly, because he doesn't want to be sued for libel or slander, rather. Go ahead. Actually, he's a public figure. I think he could do that.
Allegedly. Yeah, so he's a fucking idiot. Spent millions of dollars on, what is it, hydro.
Yeah, he tried to return it, right?
Not chlor. Yeah, and then he tried to return it.
Right.
Oops, sorry. And now he's in a fight with the Tulsa school superintendent because she wants to keep kids out of school because they're not ready to go back yet, but he wants kids in school. She's saying, yeah, if you can provide us some health care, mitigation efforts is what I mean, then we'll go back to school. But he says, no, we need them back in school first. Fucking idiot. Anyway, Do what you're supposed to do is all we're saying.
You
That's all
are
we're saying. We both went on a COVID ramp today.
you are and we are both telling you that you are all watching and listening to the shows of JK with your pals Jason Tudor and Keith
And we
Pinnell.
love you all.
And we've been going for almost 2 hours now, and this is a new record for us. And we've still got friendly and fresh conversation, which is amazing. But we're coming up on it, so we need to wrap up our best movies, best sports movies bracket. So we'll do that. But you should probably talk what you're not doing for Valentine's Day. We need to get you a girlfriend.
That hurts me.
Because I have things. In fact, I've got to
You cut me
finalize my
deep.
plans tomorrow and Tuesday, so there will be things. But if you are, as we head into the week, if you are celebrating Valentine's Day, I'd be interested in your ideas. What you're going to do at home, because there's nowhere to go, at least in Germany. What your plans are. I've got some ideas, but Keith will just be thinking. I wonder what Jason's doing for his wife on Valentine's. All right, let's put up the bracket.
That's not what I'm thinking.
That's
No,
not what you're thinking. I know that.
not at
All right, let's review the
I'll buy
final.
dinner for 2.5 leftovers.
Let's review the final 8 on our brackety bracket, please. And you must know that Caddyshack is facing off against Hoosiers. The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, Auga, is in versus a league of their own. Victory is playing Field of Dreams, and Major League is up against Space Jam. We lost Rudy, Bagger fucking Vance, Rocky. I can't believe we lost Rocky. I think that was definitely a coin flip. Longest Yard against Victory. Remember the Titans, the Sandlot that I've never seen, Slapshot, and we lost Tin Cup. So I think we're mostly right except for Rocky. I think Rocky should have moved on, but here we are. So anyway, let's see. All right, let's get the party started. Let's get going. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Caddyshack versus Hoosiers. So if you need the full banter on these, go back to last week's show, and you can hear us BS about the first round. These will be a bit more amended, but we'll still kind of make our way through. Go ahead. You first.
I absolutely love Caddyshack. I
Yeah.
love Caddyshack.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty good.
I love the comedy of it.
Right.
I love the performances of it. No. I
No,
love
no, no.
everything about it.
Oh, Billy.
Duty! It's okay. It's candy bar.
Candy bar.
Hoosiers,
Ah!
totally different. It's a Baby Ruth. Hoosier, quote me one thing out of Hoosiers.
No clue. Couldn't quote you anything out of
Yeah,
Hoosiers.
exactly.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying Hoosiers is a bad film. It's a great film for what it is, which is a inspirational film.
Right.
I get it. For me, for Keith, I'm going with Caddyshack.
Couldn't agree more. Hoosiers is one of those films that high school coaches and other people who are motivators, I'm sure they've got 2 or 3 clips of Hoosiers somewhere. Gene Hackman is he's on the Mount Rushmore of actors to me. He's brilliant, and
Yes.
he retired and said he wasn't doing it anymore. Californian. I love Gene Hackman, but I've never seen the film, and I don't plan to see it. And I'm sure there are some incredible motivational moments. But as you said, and you went right down the punch list there, Caddyshack has all the ingredients. It's got Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Brian Doyle Murray. It's just memorable moments.
Ted Knight.
Everything exploding, the priest getting hit by the
Dangerfield.
lightning. I mean, the whole thing. So it's got it all and then some. All right, 4-5. Fish That Saved Pittsburgh versus A League of Their Own. I'm going to go with A League of Their Own, and that's because I think the movie is well made. It highlights a certain sector of the sports world that doesn't get spoken to a lot. It had a great cast. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's got a real, no kidding story. And I think it's one of the seminal sports films that when you are talking about sports films, it does get mentioned. I really love the Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. I wanted it in the bracket, but I knew this was about as far as it was going to make it for me. It is not it's just one of those things. It's like when somebody's talking about Hoosiers and League of Their Own and Rocky, it's like, yeah, but have you ever seen the Fish That Saved Pittsburgh? And then they're like, what? And you're like, exactly. So I would pick the League of Their Own here. How about you?
Your dad is absolutely not happy with our coin tosses, by the way.
Yeah, well, not a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, I know. But that's what makes us us, right?
Right.
All right. No, I wholeheartedly agree. One thing that makes a good movie, what I said about Caddyshack is that you remember it. You can remember things, the quotes, the lines, the people's names who were in it, the character names, things like that. No, there's no crying in
No
baseball.
crying in
There's no
baseball.
crying in podcasts. There's no crying in public affairs.
No crying in
Although,
COVID.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's no crying in COVID.
Right.
So no, I wholeheartedly agree with you. League of Their Own moves on.
Okay. I think I need to refresh this. Let me load this up again. See if we can. Hang on one second. It's not appearing on the screen. I'm just going to refresh this again. Hopefully. La,
I
la.
know, Dad. I know.
Let me
I
delete it.
see you.
Let me do it. Um, all right, so I'm bringing back this page. It's going to be blank for a second. There we go. Okay, now we got it. All right.
TikTok, TikTok, motherfucker, TikTok.
Hush, hush. Okay, so we both picked a league of our own. Is what the bottom line there.
Yes.
So all right. So Boombada and a Boombada. Okay. So Caddyshack versus League of Their Own. All right, Victory versus Field of Dreams. Go ahead.
It's been a long time since I've seen Victory.
Yeah.
Field of Their Dreams. Field of Their Dreams. Field of Dreams is one of the quintessential baseball movies, and we could have done a whole bracket on baseball movies by
Yeah,
themselves.
for sure.
Um, you know, this one's a tough one for me. We talked last time about how poignant Victory was, about how they played against the Germans. During the game, they dug a tunnel and escaped and all that. Field of Dreams is if you build it, they will come. And again, it's one of those lines you remember. This one's kind of a toss up for me personally. I'm going to go with Field of Dreams.
I think Field of Dreams is a fine movie. I think it hit a lot of heartstrings for folks. I think it happened sort of at the tail end of baseball's, for lack of a better word, salad days, when it still had good credit with the American people before the NFL sort of came in and started curb stomping things and really making football America's pastime and the whole thing. And then, baseball wants to tell us now, no, we still have millions of fans through our streaming, and I don't buy it. I still think baseball has a lot of things it needs to address. It's still probably my favorite game, oddly enough. And after that film I saw last night, Lagan for 3 hours and 43 minutes, with its origins in cricket and rounders and all that stuff, I think baseball is still an incredibly fun, complex, interesting game. But that said, Field of Dreams felt like, I don't know, it didn't hit for me. And I want to say that it could have and should have, but it just felt a little too sort of melodrama for me. If you build it, they will come. I get it, and it's a nice sentiment. Victory has teeth, and that it was based in World War II, and there were these sorts of real consequences to this versus its sort of Field of Dreams sort of being the big chill of sports films. Again, how are they going to get through this? They break the guy's arm.
Right.
And again, just an outstanding cast: Michael Caine, Pele, Sylvester Stallone, and on and on and on. I vote for Victory here, and so we're going to have to flip a coin, I guess. So
Okay.
let me find the stupid patch. You know your side already, but just in case you're playing at home, here is the Jason side. Here is the Keith side. Here we go. Honest flipping. Jason wins and gets victory.
I'm okay with that.
And gets victory.
I'm okay with that.
I didn't think you'd be too mad about it.
No.
There's only a couple things where you're like, no, that is the absolute wrong decision. And trust me, I understand. But Victory is the winner over Field of Dreams. So, Victory moves
okay
on.
with that.
Major League versus Space Jam. The thing about Space Jam is I've never seen it. So, Major League I've seen probably 100 times. I think it's
Yes.
fantastic. Willie Mays Hayes pointing
Nice
to the
fucking catch, Hayes. Don't ever fucking do it again.
pointing to the stands. The weirdness of Corbin Burnson being in a major film. The guy who
and playing a dick.
the guy who plays the coach, who's
Yeah.
got that distinctive voice, and I think he's been in a couple films that I liked. And then I don't remember who the woman was who they peeled the dress off. She's supposed to be the owner, but she's a prominent actress. I just can't think of her name.
Is that Christine Lottie?
No, and I always think it's Catherine O'Hara too, but it's not her. But
Oh.
anyway, great cast. Jobu with
Yeah.
the bat and the whole thing, and the guy with the knuckleball. I mean, they assembled a pantheon of characters that, to me, that feels like it would be a baseball team, right? And so, fun movie, lots to do, lots to see, that sort of thing. I've never seen Space Jam. I understand its influence, though. This was a film that had Michael Jordan in it at the height of his powers. It
Looney
gathered
Tunes.
together all the Warner Brothers folks, and it created this phenomenon. It furthered the sneaker movement. I get it, but I think when it hit when I was mostly an adult, so I don't think it would have had any impact on me anyway.
Agreed.
But to those who love it, I completely understand it. So as you and I are both of a certain age, and I'm guessing you're going to guess the same as me, I pick Major League here.
Yeah, I am too. For most of the same reasons. It's just one of those movies that, again, a good movie is something you relate to and you remember. And other than Michael Jordan being in the Looney Tunes characters,
Yep.
I cannot remember. I think they played against aliens for Earth or something like that.
Right.
But Major League, you remember everything,
Yep.
or if you liked the movie, you did. So yes, I'm
Charlie
going with
Sheen before he
yeah.
had
Charlie Sheen
AIDS.
was in it. Yep, Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger,
Was
who
it?
was a male
Yep.
model before, and he was in one of my favorite movies, The Dogs of War. Which, if you've
I
never
thought you were
seen
going
The
to say Sniper.
Dogs of War, Christopher Walken, Tom Berenger, not Yaphet Kotto. Who's the guy? I can't remember that dude. Maybe it is Yaphet. No, it's not Yaphet Kotto. Great film. Great film about mercenaries. Has one of my favorite phrases. I almost got a tattoo of it, which is "Vive le mort, vive la guerre, vive les sacrés mercenaires."
Oh shit, PJ, what's his name? The Milwaukee Brewers announcer.
Bob Euchre,
Uh,
just a bit
Bob.
outside.
Yeah, just a bit
The uke
outside.
is amazing. All right, we've got our
Yeah.
final four: Caddyshack versus League of Their Own, and Victory versus Major League. We shouldn't have to plod through these. Let's start with Victory
Oh,
versus Major League. Who you got?
oh, oh. I'm going with Major League just because I love it so much.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
It feels like the right thing to do.
So all that sacrimonious stuff you said about victory, yeah, but not against Major League.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, but Major League is one of those. It's like if it's on, I'll probably stop to watch it. Just the
Yeah.
original one, not the 17 they made after, but the original one
Right. Right.
is definitely, and it's baseball. Victory is football, or as we say in America, is soccer. And again, it's got some powerful dramatic performances, but I have to be in the mood to consume it. I guess that's the best way to say that. So Major League will move the F on. All right.
I may try to find that on Amazon Prime Victory, and so I can watch it again.
Yeah.
It's well worth the watch. If you can find it, it is definitely well worth the watch.
All right. Last Final Four matchup: Caddyshack versus League of Their Own. Go ahead.
I'm going with Caddyshack just because the the time I spend laughing, even today,
Mm-hmm.
when I watch Caddyshack,
Mm-hmm.
is makes me happy. I'm happy after I watch Caddyshack. Uh, and League of Their Own, of course, I'm happy, but there's a much more sentimental value. I would rather laugh, so
Yep.
I'm going with Caddyshack.
This is where League of Their Own runs out of steam for me as well. So that's it. Our final matchup is going to be Caddyshack versus Major League.
So two sports comedies.
Stu, basically, now the only reason why these two movies are here is because Rocky got coin flipped out of existence, which makes no sense to me. But we've committed one or two of these sins in the past, so here we are with Caddyshack, and that's what makes the bracket fun. Is we may even know sort of. We've lost our bit rate again. Anyway, it's bound to happen. We've been broadcasting for 2 hours. I'm surprised it's the first time we lost it, but oh no, it's this way because of the brackets on. That's right. Okay, so. Let me turn it back off so we can go live. So, two sports comedies. These are almost the same movie to me, just set with
They
different
kinda are.
sports.
Yeah.
They have the same archetypes. They have the same sorts of villains and heroes and things like that. The question is to what degree you want to sort of take your poison here and say that. But that said, if you walk into a sports bar on any given day, preferably a Saturday or Sunday, and you walked around to all the drunks and you said, "Hey, what's the best sports movie?" I can say with affirmation, Caddyshack is going to be right there, especially among the old heads. The younger heads, maybe not so much, but Caddyshack does have carryover even to the younger because it's a golf film, and golf is kind of transcendent in that way, whereas baseball not so much. So my vote's Caddyshack.
I agree. I'll go with Caddyshack easily. Major
Easily.
League is funny. I don't think it's as well known, certainly, as Caddyshack, but Caddyshack is the winner.
So there it is, folks. Your winner and ne'er-do-well champion is Caddyshack, which went 4-0, by the way. Major League went 3-1. Victory went 2-1, and League of Their Own went 2-1. All right, let's see who hammered home of the 13 predictions we received. Let's see.
Somebody had to have picked Caddyshack.
Thanks for staying as long as you did, PJ. We appreciate it. Yeah, Bill Murray and the Gopher win, say my dad. Totally. All right, let's see who got this. Let's see if we can bring it up on the bracket. Nope, that's what I thought. So it's a different video. All right. So, best sports movies, your winner be. Let's see if we have ties. Nope, we have an all-out winner. It's someone named Camp. That's it. That's all they wrote, Camp.
We need to know who you are.
Whoever Camp is, congratulations. But guess who took second? Matt Davis came in second because he called Caddyshack.
Matt Davis?
But only missed it by...
doesn't know sports, took second.
Well, he knows entertainment, right? So he knew the value.
Movies, yes.
And it's always important to remember the points progress as the bracket goes on. So he built up steam as Caddyshack kept staying strong. So Matt takes second. He had 8 of 15. Camp, whoever you are, had 9 of 15. 7 of 15 is let's see, Matthews. Whoever Matthews, it'll come to me in a minute. Oh no, I'm sorry. Gunga Gulunga was 7 of 15. And then so this person had 9 picks, but only had 15 points, so they must have predicted well early. That's Matthews. Ray had 9 picks, but again, those are early picks. Had 14. And let's see, any other big? Nope, that's it. The largest number of picks with the least points was last week's loser, whoever loser is. So there you go. Congratulations, Camp. Whoever you are, please send me a PM, and we'll figure out getting you some stuff. So that's it. We have ramrodded our way through 2 hours of entertainment, folks. Let's wrap this up. What do you got?
2 hours. Wow,
we did well.
I may not be able to
and
talk
the signal
tomorrow.
didn't drop once. Not once. We had a great show all the way through. The internet's been working well. So congratulations to us. No technical flaws for 2 hours, Matt Davis. 2 hours, no technical flaws. Because he's always like, you guys always have something every show. So this is the show that gets us on our way to technical excellence. So any final thoughts? Let's get this wrapped up so we can go get some food.
I've got nothing. Hey, everybody have a great week. If
Enjoy
you're
the
taking
Super
time
Bowl.
off in the morning, enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Don't care about spoilers. I'll check it when I first wake up in the morning. So good luck to both teams. Good luck to both teams' fans. And hopefully it'll be a different time next year.
Yes. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Please enjoy it responsibly. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with a good glass of scotch or a beer. But don't bring other people into your house and start spiking the numbers in your area. It's just what's going to happen. Don't let Karen next door report you for having a massive party in your dorm, your barracks, wherever you may be.
Because she will. She's a bitch.
She will do it in a heartbeat. So just enjoy it. Have a good one. We appreciate all that y'all do for us. Thanks for enjoying all the updates throughout the day, the promos and everything else. We'll be back next week with the regular show. Actually, we may not. It's Valentine's Day on Sunday, so we may have to figure out if we're going to do that Saturday or Monday because we ain't doing it Sunday, at least not in this house. Maybe you could do it solo. Anyway, we'll talk about that. We will return. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.